ang mga mananalo ng Good Design Award Philippines,
Mhm.
ipapadala natin sa Japan, sa Gmart,
Wow.
kasi merong Good Design Award Japan din.
Ayan, welcome po sa ating bagong episode ng Hashtag for a Better Governance Podcast. Impormasyong pamabuting pamamahala at komunidad tungo sa sama-samang pagunlad. Ako po si Engineer Daniel mula sa Department of the Interior and Local Government, ang bago nyo pong makakasama sa ating programa. Ang good governance ay hindi lang polisiya, hindi lang compliance, hindi lang report. Ito ay tungkol sa tao at sa komunidad. Meron po tayong milestone. Bukod po doon sa 303,000 na followers po natin, tayo po ay nasa ika-10 na episode na po ng ating hashtag for a Better Governance Podcast. So kung sinusubaybayan nyo po yung ating podcast simula umpisa, ang dami na po nating mga tinalakay mula sa hazard awareness kasama ang pag-asa, violence against women and children or VAUCI, earthquake preparedness, hanggang sa ease of doing business with ARTA at mapakalamidad.ph. Actually, recently lang nagkaroon tayo ng episode na kasama ang DOH naman para sa kanilang One Health. Lahat ng ito ay mahalagang sangkap para sa good governance. Iba-iba man ang ating tema, iisa lang ang mensahe. Ang mahusay na sistema ay nagliligtas ng oras, resources, at higit sa lahat, buhay. At dahil dyan, napaka-special po ng ating episode 10 ngayon. So, hindi lamang dahil may bago po kayong host, kundi dahil may bago rin po tayong format. First time po natin makakaugnayan ang ating mga panauhin online. Today's episode is very interesting, lalo na po sa ating mga LGUs. Pag-uusapan natin ang isang National Recognition Program na hindi lang tungkol sa pagiging aesthetic or maganda, kundi tungkol sa pamamahalang mas makatao at epektibo. Let's welcome ang ating guest for today, ang ating policy expert from Creative Economy Council of the Philippines, Sir Paulo Mercado. Sir, good morning.
Hello. Good morning. Pleased to be here. Happy to join.
Yan. And mula naman po sa ating DTI Design Center of the Philippines, ang ating Supervising Trade Industry Development Specialist, Miss Leona Paula Catli or Miss LP. Ma'am, good morning po.
Good morning, Daniel. Thank you for having us. Magandang araw din po sa lahat po ng mga nakikinig.
Bago po tayo magsimula sa ating talakayan, baka pwede niyo po kaming mabigyan ng kaunting introduction pa ulit ng inyong role at ang inyong mga organisasyon. Mauna na po siguro si Miss LP. Ma'am LP.
Okay. Salamat, Daniel. Ako po ulit si LP Catli. Ako po ay kasama sa Design Promotion Division of ng Design Center of the Philippines. Ang Design Promotion Division po ay kami yung grupo ng Design Center na nag-a-advance ng design awareness. Pinapakita po namin yon through exhibitions din po to foster innovation, sustainability, inclusion, and of course, global recognition. Pakilala ko na rin po ang Design Center of the Philippines. Kami po ay under ng Department of Trade and Industry, and we use po ang disenyo as a strategic tool to help Filipino product and services become competitive, hindi lang dito locally, but abroad din. So we support MSMEs through our projects, hindi lang MSMEs, also designers and creatives. Through design development, we also have training and research assistance at iba pang activities to help grow the Philippine design. So sa Design Center po, we have, aside from design promotion, we also do design innovation, wherein we integrate creativity and strategy to advance material innovation and research. So hindi lang po yan pag-produce ng bagong material, and ang application din po nitong bagong material sa mga bagong design. And that leads me to the next service, which is design services, wherein we help mga MSMEs po para sa mga bagong trends ng design, bagong skills, and para po ma-upskill din natin ang ating mga MSMEs and designers. We also have design policy with the help of our policy expert, Mr. Paulo Mercado, where we provide long-term guidance po to promote national awareness and use of design. Also, design protection, wherein we help safeguard yung mga na-produce po or mga innovations ng mga MSMEs para maging aware sila pagdating sa intellectual property and yung foundation po ng ecosystem when you start safeguarding your own design. So dito po sa Design Center, we believe that ang core ng trabaho namin ay nasa malasakit. So parang ano po ito ay isang commitment namin to uplift the Filipino community through designs that hindi lang po human-centered but also humanity-centered. We believe that design has the ability to improve lives po through design, through parang as a strategic tool, innovation tool, and a creative tool. So, yun po ang Design Center of the Philippines. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Miss LP. Grabe, no? Ang ganda. DTI Design Center, no? Mas center sila doon naman sa humanity. No? Yan. Maraming salamat po, Miss LP. How about po, Sir Paulo Mercado? Sir, tell us more about yourself po.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. So, yung Creative Economy Council of the Philippines, this was established, magti-10 years na kami, 2016 pa. It is a private sector nonprofit, and at the time that we established 10 years ago, ang goal namin very simple. At that time, in Southeast Asia, the Philippines was the only country na walang creative economy policy. Wala. In 2016. Meron na ang Thailand, meron na ang Indonesia, meron na ang Malaysia, Singapore, pero tayo wala of the big Southeast Asian countries. So, together with a group of creative leaders in design, creative leaders in advertising, animation, and including our ninong at that time, the former and late DOT Secretary Mon Jimenez, who was an advertising person before he became DOT Secretary. Siya yung ninong ng Creative Economy Council. And we formed to be able to push and advocate for the recognition of creative industries as a priority growth sector. So yun yung establishing mission namin. In the last 10 years, our achievements, kumbaga, are the following at yung kung saan kami nag-work. So yung una is creative policy. Unang-una doon yung the development of yung Creative Industries Development Act, RA 11904, na we crafted it sa kalagitnaan ng pandemic together with former Congressman Tof de Venecia, who is now part of CECP, by the way. So we crafted it mga 2021 and it was passed into law by 2022. So big achievement namin yon. Other policies that we've helped, syempre yung National Design Policy, I helped out Design Center with that. Plus others na mas creative industries mapping, across the country. The second area of work that we do na perhaps interested ang mga LGUs dito is yung Creative Cities Application. Ito yung pag-recognize sa isang city bilang bahagi ng UNESCO Creative Cities Network. And personally, I've helped to consult with Baguio City, the first one to get it. And then just this year also, I directly helped Quezon City and Dumaguete City get their Creative City recognition. Then the third activity that we're starting to do is creative districts planning. So ito, within a city, kapag merong isang area na gustong maging creative or cultural district, meron din kaming consultancy practice dun sa area na yun. So yun ang Creative Economy Council. So mas think tank kami, policy think tank, plus helping creative cities and creative districts come to life. Yun. So yung kami.
Thank you, Sir Paulo. No, grabe, ang dami palang ginagawa din ng Creative Economy Council, no, sir. Actually, pag nababanggit po natin yung design, ang una po natin na iisip is logos, minsan furniture, minsan architecture. Actually, ako po bilang engineer, no, iba rin naman ang pakahulugan ng design. Pero dito po, no, may hidden layer po pala, no, ang design pagdating po sa governance. So hindi lang ito tungkol sa visuals, no. Minsan, sinasagot natin yung mga questions na paano ba pinapabilis yung mga permit process para hindi mahirapan yung tao. O kaya naman po is yung magandang access or mapabilis yung access ng mga services. Maging user-friendly ito. O kaya naman is yung mga feedback, no? Feedback ng mga mamamayan, paano ba siya mas magiging maayos? Paano ginagawang mas inclusive? Yan, ang bawat programa para sa lahat.
Actually, Daniel, no, that's one of Design Center's mandate na for to people to be educated na ang design ay hindi lang aesthetics, it's more than that. So, through Good Design Award Philippines, that was launched in 2019, we partner with the Japan Institute for Design Promotion and the ASEAN Japan Center. Dito sa Good Design Award Philippines is we give or we recognize, binibigyang pansin ang mga designs not just for aesthetics, but design that address social problems that make design as a tool for improving lives. So through Good Design Award Philippines, which is a national biennial design recognition system, we champion here yung design excellence na hindi lang basta siya may form, may function, may innovation, but more importantly, may malasakit. So again, when we say malasakit, a project or a program is designed because it wanted to improve the lives of the people. It wanted to address societal problems. So, from experience, no, kasi I've been attending the GMARC in Japan. And sabi nila, what sets Philippine design apart from our neighboring countries is that our design is more than human-centered. It's humanity-centered. Kumbaga, may malasakit tayo sa bawat dinidesign natin. Hindi lang basta tayo nagde-design kasi maganda, but we aim to address a certain problem. So yeah, that's Good Design Award Philippines. Na actually it's ongoing by the time we air this podcast. Siguro by then nag-undergo na kami ng validation process because we just ended the call for entries last February 28th. So to date, we already received almost or more or less 300 entries, and that's record-breaking compared to the past 3 editions of Good Design Award Philippines. That's why natutuwa po kami na nagkakaroon na po ng traction ang Good Design Award Philippines na nare-recognize na po ng tao na ang design ay hindi lang aesthetics. Kasi in Good Design Award Philippines, we have, aside from object making, which is the everyday functional objects, we have image making. These are yung mga graphic design. This can be books. This can be campaigns. We also have place making, the idea of inviting people around that place, that venue. Nandun yung pakikipagkapwa, pakikipagtungo natin through that place. So that's aside from interior design and architecture. We also have the systems and service design, wherein we feature here yung mga programa or mga proseso. Sabihin natin, an example here is a recently awarded entry under systems and service design is the Sakay.ph app. So ang ginawa nitong app na to ay tulungan ng mga commuters para mapadali ang kanilang pagko-commute. Kasi dito sa app na to makikita kung kunyari from point A to point B, ito yung ruta mo. Ito yung mapapadali para sa'yo makarating ka from point A to point B. So we also have the 2 special categories which are material innovation. Na we encourage people to use not just yung existing materials, but parang for yung circular economy natin ay kunyari from yung mga pineapple leaves, gumawa tayo ng bagong material out of those. Pwede ring banana leaves. Dito sa Design Center, we're studying the material bakong. I don't know if you're familiar with bakong, yung para siyang weed na tumutubo sa parang grassland. So we're studying the possibility of having that as a new material. And lastly, we're introducing this new category, which is the governance and civic design. For us to realize na ang good design is hindi lang siya basta, as aesthetics, as we always say, but it also comes in the form of good governance. So with that, maybe Sir Paulo can expound on the good governance category.
Yes. Sir Paulo, can you tell us
Mm.
more about dun po sa ating yung category po dito sa Good Design Award?
Okay, salamat. Yung when we were putting together yung national design policy, part of the research was, yung what is the Philippines known for pagdating sa design? At dalawa yung napansin namin na kapag i-Google mo ang Pilipinas and just the word design, good design or bad design, ang lumalabas sa good design, syempre, yung mga batikang designers natin, whether fashion or furniture, katulad nila Kenneth Cobonpue, yun talagang world class. Yung mga, yun, or yung mga fashion designers natin, Josie Natori, etc. Pero pagdating sa public space, sa public service, doon ang mas lumalabas na na magugugol mo ay bad design or yung tinatawag sa online na design fail. Talagang hashtag design fail. Tapos noon, meron kang makikitang pictures, usually mga public works. Sabihin na natin, yung isa, yung Kamuning, yung Mount Kamuning, yung tinatawag. Yung pedestrian overpass sa Kamuning na napakatarik nung nung daanan. Or yung isa din sa MRT na halos hindi talaga pang PWD pero hindi makaakyat yung PWD. So sabi namin, bakit nagkakaganon? So yun yung una, yung how do we help make design really a mindset and a culture and a practice not only in public works but public services. Na minsan din, pagpipila tayo, bakit ganun? Ang daming bintana at bakit paulit-ulit? How do we make the experience in public services better? Ang isa ding nakita namin na let's say insightful. Sa Europe kasi meron silang tinatawag na design ladder, na 4 na nivel ng disenyo. In fact, yung Australia ginawa nilang 6 na nivel, pero isi-simplify ko lang. So, ito ginagamit nila sa pag-evaluate sa private sector kung kaano nila kalalim ini-embrace yung design. So yung level 0 talagang wala, yung walang pakialam sa design. Yung design, mahal naman ng ambience, So hindi nila pinapansin. Yung level 1, yung yung after 0, yung level 1, ano lang yan? Ang design palamuti lang yan, pang decoration lang yan. Okay? So hantong tayo sa number 3 or 4. Yun ang design nagiging best practice sa trabaho. Yung aayusin natin yung trabaho, gagawa tayo ng magandang produkto, pero dapat sa pagbumulan, nag-iisip na tayo or ginagamit na natin ng design thinking to improve products and services. Pagdating mo dun sa level, yung Australian model gamitin ko, yung level 6, yung pinakamataas, hindi lang siya embedded sa sistema or way of working, ay nagiging na siyang kultura. Yung walang gumagalaw, pag walang pag-iisip ng para kanino ba to dinesign,
Yes.
at talagang may malasakit ba yung design na to para sa tao. Yung ultimate goal talaga of why it's been included here sa Good Design Awards is para dun sa mga public servants natin na isipin na ang public works and public services kailangan talaga may disenyo ng malasakit from the very root. Para kanino ba to? Anong problema ang nire-resolve natin? At kapag merong solusyon tayo, ay na-resolve ba talaga yung problema? So, engineer kayo, di ba? Yung
Yes, sir.
sa engineer, pag may works, merong acceptance process.
Certificate of completion and certificate of acceptance.
Okay. Sa private sector, kung anumang works yun, kapag in-embrace nila ang design mindset, ang Certificate of Completion and Acceptance, kailangan may user acceptance test.
Wow.
Yung target user ba nitong service or infrastructure na to, tinesting ba nila?
Yes.
Ginamit ba nila? At na-solve ba yung problem points? At saka lang tatanggapin. So yun yung difference ng design thinking. Yung user-centric mindset or yung pag-iisip sa customer or pag-iisip sa kapwa ay talagang naka-embed dun sa mula sa umpisa at dun sa pinakahuli na tinanggap ba ng end user or yung gagamit nun na sabi niya, good job to, okay to.
Impact yung ating tinitignan dito sa Good Design Award. So,
Oo.
hindi lang
Oo.
siya dahil isang good governance, nagawa po natin ng maayos
Oo.
yung isang
Oo.
project, pero mas tinitignan
Oo.
natin na mas may malasakit ba yung programa na to. Parang ano to, Sir Paulo, no? Ito yung mga projects ng LGUs natin na talagang, yun, nabanggit niyo po kanina, kita po natin yung impact, nagagamit po ng tao, nagagamit ba to ng tama. Hindi lang siya sa lens, no? Dahil natapos natin yung isang project, kundi ito ba ay mapapakinabangan ng mga tao talaga.
Oo. Oo. Tinanggap ba ng taong bayan?
Tinanggap
Yung
ba ng
ano,
taong bayan?
oo, sinabi ba
Hindi
nila,
lang siya
okay
basta
to,
natapos,
goods
sir,
to.
no?
Oo, hindi lang na-check yung terms of reference, yung ano,
Yes.
yung deliverables. Yung checklist doon is tinanggap ba ng end user?
Yan. So napaka-metikuloso po pala, sir, nung ating Good Design Award. Kanina nabanggit ni Ma'am LP, 300 entries na ngayon. So yan po ay sasalain pa. And nabanggit po kanina ni Miss LP na parang deadline na po noong February 28. Tama po na sa Ma'am LP?
Oo, yes, Daniel. Nag-deadline na nung Feb 28, pero we still have naman the next cycle,
The next cycle.
which
Yun
is
po.
kung meron na kayong ideas na produkto or projects in mind, pwede nyo siya isali sa 2028 na iteration ng Good Design Award Philippines. Right now, we're having nandun na po tayo sa validation stage. When we say validation, iniisa-isa namin if na-meet nila yung mga eligibility or
Yes.
na-submit ba nila yung mga tamang documents para initially makapasok sila sa Good Design Award Philippines.
Opo.
So by March, by third week of March, magkakaroon na ng initial deliberation wherein lahat ng entries ay magko-convene ng kanya-kanyang category managers, mga jurors, para pag-usapan at pagtulungan kung sino ang deserving na ma-shortlist sa award na ito. So by May, magkakaroon tayo ng final deliberation wherein dito during this session ay manalaman na natin kung sino-sino ang mga winners.
Yun.
And then by June, ang awarding ceremony natin. Pero hindi doon nagtatapos yun. Dahil ang mga nananalo ng Good Design Award Philippines, ipapadala natin sa Japan, sa GMART,
Wow.
kasi merong Good Design Award Japan din. Background lang, no, Daniel, sa Japan, ang GMART, parang nire-recognize ito, yung seal na to ng GMART, ng more than 80% of their population. Kumbaga, pag nakita nila yung GMART seal na to, sasabihin nila, this is good quality, this is good design. They also consider it when they're doing a purchase. So, itong Good Design Award talaga ay magiging bridge lalo na doon sa mga MSMEs natin na gusto ma-explore pa ang export market. So, bilang DTI, yun ang isa sa mga mandate natin ay tulungan ang mga MSMEs na marating at ma-penetrate ang mga international market din.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Miss LP. And balikan ko lang po yung bagong category natin, kasi ang gusto natin is ma-involve yung ating LGUs, no? Tama, for the good governance, no? Yan po yung isa sa mga bagong category natin. Although tapos na po yung ating deadline this year, no? 2026. Pero yan naman po ay pwede na silang makasali by 2028. Tama po,
Yes.
Ma'am LP?
Yes, as long as ito yung mga eligibility or requirements para sa mga gustong sumali under the governance and civic design. So unang-una, dapat ito ay officially mandated or implemented by the LGU. Also, dapat na-implement siya within the past 3 years.
Yun.
So, kung kunyaring sasali sila sa 2028, so dapat by 2025, in-implement na nila yung proyektong isasali nila. Of course, hindi lang dun yun kasi nasabi nga natin na dapat tanggap ng mga citizen natin yung project na yon, na hindi lang basta ginawa, more importantly, natanggap. So, we also accept documentation as proof na natanggap or pwedeng yung mga, if meron, di ba meron tayong mga client satisfaction form na pinapabigay sa mga citizen when we do projects. Di ba ganun tayo sa government? Things like those, documentations like those, we can accept as part of their eligibility when they submit their programs or projects.
So hindi lang to isang award, tama po ano. So meron po tayong tinatawag na red, gold, green and white awards. So pero ang pinaka or yung highest no po dito is the Malasakit Award.
Yes, Daniel, tama ka dyan. We have major awards and we have the special citations. So let's start with the special citations. Of course, we have yung Blue Award para sa good governance. Ito ay a special award para sa mananalo or ma-recognize na nakamit ng criteria ng governance and civic sign. Aside from that, we have White Award as for material innovation and Green Award for sustainability. Yun ang mga special citations natin. For our major awards naman, we have the Red Award, which is sila yung mga nakamit ng basic parameters of good design, which are form, function, innovation, and malasakit. From among the Red awardees, per category, magkakaroon ng Gold awardee, which is parang yung best in class ba. Kumbaga, siya yung top 1 doon sa category na yon. And from among the Gold awardees, pagpipilian or paglalabanan, sino ang magiging Malasakit awardee. So, yung Malasakit awardee demonstrates not just design excellence, but more importantly, yung genuine care for people and community. So, ito yung positive impact and yung malasakit na sinasabi natin. So, it is not just good design, but design that uplifts the lives of the Filipinos. I-share ko lang din yung nanalo from previous edition. Isa siya, Coco Patch. Yung Coco Patch siya, Nata de Coco wound care product. Made of coco. Ano to ha? Nata de Coco. Na-develop siya ng isang nurse sa burn unit sa PGH. Tapos nakita niya bilang nurse, nakita niya kung paano nahirapan yung mga burn victims doon sa PGH. So since may access siya dito sa Nata de Coco at abundant naman ang coconut dito sa Philippines, naisipan niya na invent yung ano siya, parang plaster talaga siya.
Wow.
Kasi it's more, mas yung moisture. Kasi di ba pag gasa, pag ordinary gasa, may tendency na dumikit yun sa sugat eh. Itong Coco Patch, yes, tama. Itong Coco Patch, na-retain na yung moisture. Hindi siya dumidikit. So, it was really parang a success story then for him and dun sa mga burn victims. Ang dami niya na natulungan. We'll also share that a big pharmaceutical company has approached him para ma-distribute and matulungan siya, ma-scale that Coco Patch. So, that pharmaceutical company and yung promotion ng Coco Patch was done with the help of Good Design Award Philippines din. So, yun nga, hindi lang tayo nag-recognize ng good design but we also help them in their businesses.
Yeah. So, mas lumawak pa po yung kanyang network kumbaga na nakuha siya ng TTI para mas ma-expose yung kanyang gawa ma'am. So para sa mga LGUs po sir na gumagamit po ng traditional reporting. So paano po sila mag-start nung tinatawag nating design thinking?
Yung design thinking, actually hindi siya mahirap eh. Yung hindi siya napaka-sophisticated na programa. Actually, iba lang yung steps niya. So, yung unang step ng design thinking ay yung tinatawag na empathy. Empathy meaning pakikiramdam or pakikipag-isang loob na naiintindihan mo na merong problema na kailangang solusyonan. Yung pangalawang step, tinatawag na define, na ano ba talaga yung problema na kailangan solusyonan. Kasi minsan, naiisip namin, ito yung problema ay, kunwari, sabihin natin, yung mahaba ang hintayan sa isang pila. Pero yun ba yung problema? Yung paghihintay ba yung problema or yung napakamaraming proseso nung isang step? So yun yung part na yung hihimayin mo talaga yung problema para maintindihan mo ano ba yung talaga kailangan nating solusyonan. Yung third step, yun yung pag-ideas na, yung idea. Gagawa kayo ng maraming ideas na but yung main point is that hindi ka dapat ma-in love dun sa solution mo. Dapat ma-in love ka sa problemang sinusolusyonan mo, yung sinusolve mo. So, yun, kaya maraming idea, pero dapat hindi ka hindi ka masyadong ma-attach dun sa mga ideas. Kasi yung third step, sige, gawa natin ng parang maliit na prototype, kumbaga. Itong solusyon na to, tingnan natin kung mag-work at iti-test mo yun. So yun yung limang steps that kung yung sa pag-test mo ay mukhang yung ibang solusyon ay hindi nag-work pero may mga solusyon na nag-work, yun ang i-build mo.
Yun.
So yun siya, very very practical siya. You start with the problem, ano yung problem na i-solve natin, ano ba talaga yung nature ng problem na yan, paano kaya natin susolusyonan yan sa mga different ideas, paano tayo gagawa ng maliit na test, and paano natin actually iti-test. Yun yung process. Pero ang ibig sabihin yan, hindi mo pwedeng ilagay lang yung design sa huli. Dapat sa umpisa pa lang yan. Kasi minsan nga, may policy, may na, sandali lang, hindi naman to nagsusolve ng problema. In fact, gumagawa ng problema. So, bakit natin ginagawa? So, yun yung disiplina dyan.
Ayan. So, thank you po, Sir Paulo. Malamang, sa mga viewers po natin ngayon, ang daming magiging interested po dito sa tinatawag nating Good Design Award na ito. Although, Ma'am LP, Sir Paulo, tapos na po yung ating deadline, meron na po tayong mga entries na pasa na sila, nakapagpasa na po sila. But, yun po, mas marami pong time yung ating mga LGUs na mag-prepare since ang next na cycle na po nito is 2028.
Yes, Daniel. Oo, while waiting, yung mga LGUs, while waiting for the next cycle, pwede sila, kasi sa Design Center, we offer free services. We offer yung kung merong from the LGU gusto magpatulong, pagdating, kunyari, may mga produkto silang gusto nilang tulong pagdating sa design, pwede silang mag-approach sa Design Center. These services are for free. Kunyaring magpapatulong sila sa pag-apply ng trademark or intellectual property. We have here then the ITSO or the Innovation and Technology Service Office. Kung meron sila sa tingin nila na, dito sa barangay namin, may mga pandan leaves, sobrang abundant. Baka may pwede tayong gawin dito kasi sayang naman. Pwede rin sila mag-approach sa Design Center. We can help pagdating sa mga ganyang concerns. You can just email info@designcenter.gov.ph.
Yun.
Yes, para habang naghihintay sila sa 2028, baka pwede pa natin further ma-plansya or ma-smooth pa further yung mga processes or yung mga products na meron sila dyan.
Yan. So maraming salamat po, Miss LP. So dapat ang ating mga LGUs, they have to record everything, yung data, the citizen feedback, mga photos para po sa 2028 cycle, mas ready na rin sila sa kanilang mga i-entry. Napakadami nating natutunan ngayong araw na to kay Sir Paulo and Ma'am LP regarding po sa kanilang Good Design Award. Maraming salamat po Sir Paulo and Ma'am LP. So again, ang ganda po nitong yung bagong programa ng DTI, Good Design Award. Madami pang matutunan ng ating mga viewers for today's episode. Ayan, so before we officially end, ang bilis po ng oras, mag-i-end na po tayo. Baka po may some announcement pa po kayo, Sir Paulo and Miss LP.
Right. So baybayan lang yung pag-announce ng Good Design Awards pag natapos na yung judging.
Yes, Sir Paulo. By June, ma-announce na namin ang resulta ng Good Design Award Philippines. We hope na ma-inspire kayo at tuluyan pang pagbutihin ang pagseserbisyo sa ating mga kapwa at sa mga citizen. Pero hindi lang yung Good Design Award ang proyekto ng Design Center of the Philippines. Meron din kami sa September, the International Design Conference. Ito naman ay parang isang seminar or conference on design thinking and design leadership. So, mga siguro first week of September yan. And then we have naman sa October, the Design Week Philippines. Ito ay isang national celebration of design para din maging inclusive tayo na ang design ay hindi lang nasa Metro Manila but nasa buong bansa ang design. So yeah, watch out for other design center activities. Follow us in our official social media channels. Instagram, dti.designcenterph, and Facebook, DTI-Design Center of the Philippines. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Sir Paulo.
Thank you.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Sir Paulo and Ma'am Kathleen. But of course, hindi namin kayo bibitawan ng ganun-ganun lang. We want to show our appreciation, to our amazing guests. Yan. On behalf of the DILG, we would like to present po yung aming certificate of appreciation, para po kay Miss LP and Sir Paulo. Yan po yung aming certificate, sir and ma'am. Yan. So bibigay po namin ito pag nagkita po tayo, pag nakabisita po kayo dito po sa DILG. So of course, meron din po tayong mga tokens para po sa inyo. Ayan. So pipicturean lang daw po natin ito. Picturean lang po natin yung mga certificate. Yan. So picture lang po, Ma'am
Thank
LP.
you.
Ayan. So next po kay Sir Paulo. Ayan. Sir Paulo, ito po yung inyong certificate.
Thank you.
Alright. That's a wrap for our milestone 10th episode. Ayan, so nakita natin how good design is essentially good governance. Sa ating mga viewers, thank you for being part of the hashtag for a better governance podcast. Ako po ang inyong host, Engineer Daniel, reminding you that a better system means a better life for every Filipino. Magandang araw po and see you sa ating next episode. Sir, ma'am,
DILG.
maraming
Thank you.
salamat.
Magbibiro sana ako, sasabihin ko, wow, drone. Yan yung